Yo, what it do? What it be? It's your boy, A-N-T, repping the game gang. Y'all know we don't play none of that. If you's a lame, you can't hang all of that. Bang, bang. And I'm back again. Now, in a previous video, I have talked about how in 1973, DJ Kool Herc would throw a back-to-school party, and that party would be what we now know as the birth of hip-hop. Now, the physical elements of hip-hop culture existed throughout the state of New York at the time: DJing, breakdancing, MCing, and graffiti. It all had kids and teens forming their own crews and cliques and, representing their borough in their own unique way. However, this was New York in the 1970s. The entire country was going through a recession, and at certain points of the decade, there were even gas shortages. New York was no different. Sure, there was still wealthy people around New York, and, around Manhattan and all that. While the high-class people may have had some discomforts or slight cutbacks during that time, the middle and lower class really took most of the hardship and strife of a failing economy, not just in New York, but around the country. Not much has changed in that aspect almost 60 years later, but I digress. In 1975, New York was denied a bailout for funding because the city itself was broke and hemorrhaging money. Eventually, these would be contributing factors for a catastrophe waiting to happen. That catastrophe would present itself on July 13th, 1977. At approximately 8:34 p.m. Eastern Time, a bolt of lightning struck the Buchanan South substation, which was a substation located along the Hudson River. Now, I'm not an electrician by any means or anything like that, so I'm going to try and explain to y'all my understanding of what happened and give y'all like my best layman's terms. If I think that's an oxymoron, but either way, lightning struck and it was supposed to be converted into lower voltage electricity for commercial city use. However, something went wrong and the electricity actually just got absorbed and it wasn't redistributed at all. Now, the flow of electricity from one power station had completely stopped. This meant that other power stations in New York would have to work harder to support the immense amount of power used to power the city that never sleeps. And on top of that, they say lightning never strikes twice. Well, two other bolts of lightning hit and knocked out 4 more major transmission lines, which put a massive strain on New York City's energy grid. At about 9:30, the biggest generator in New York, nicknamed Big Alice, shut down in order to protect itself from shorting out. When this happened, a blackout was inevitable. By 9:45, the entire city of New York was powerless. When the lights went out in poorer areas of the city, chaos ensued almost immediately. Crime and looting may not have been as prevalent in some of the more affluent areas like Manhattan and Queens. However, there was still an infamous serial killer named David Berkowitz, a.k.a. the Son of Sam, stalking the streets of New York and killing random people. So while there was a serial killer potentially stalking the pitch black streets of New York, the Mets were playing the Chicago Cubs at Shea Stadium when the lights went out. At about 9:30 p.m., they were at the bottom of the 6th inning. And even after the lights went out, the stadium was eerily calm and peaceful. Now, the Mets were having an abysmal season that year. Their last championship at that point was 1969. The New York Knicks were a few years past their back-to-back championship runs in 72 and 73. And they were barely winning 40 games at that point. The Giants wouldn't make the playoffs that year. The Jets were far worse. New York sports reflected the morale of the city of New York and even the state, really. Just all around piss poor. And I mentioned previously some of the more affluent areas like Manhattan and Queens didn't see a lot of unrest or looting or crime or anything like that. Shea Stadium was in Queens and everything, like I said, for the most part was calm. However, in poorer areas of the city like Bronx and Brooklyn, all hell broke loose. Looting and arson started almost immediately, and according to Cubs players that were escorted out of New York after the game was canceled, and several other residents that witnessed firsthand, people were walking down the street with TVs, appliances, diapers, anything else that wasn't nailed down. You know, they was running home with it. Shows like The Breakdown and Everybody Hates Chris they've done episodes, and even, you know, done several episodes talking about this time in New York. At this point, you're probably wondering, Ant, what does any of this have to do with hip hop? Well, let's just tie this all together then. Hip hop was not even 5 years old yet. Rapper's Delight wouldn't drop for another 2 years. But the elements, like I said before, were still there. Now, one of the 5 elements of hip hop is DJing. DJ equipment was and still is expensive. It still might be the most expensive element in hip hop, to be honest. According to Grandmaster Caz, before the blackout, there was maybe a handful, maybe 10 at most, hip hop DJs that was doing hip hop at the time. But after the blackout, all of a sudden, just hip hop DJs started popping up in every borough, on every corner. And this was pivotal for the growth of hip hop. And through all the chaos that ensued that night, when some of the poorest members of society at the time found a way to access some decent tools and equipment, they created one of the most popular art forms and genres of music that has reached and influenced all 7 continents. And we've seen this culture evolve for 50 years, for better or worse. And regardless of anyone's opinion, its impact cannot be ignored. In the aftermath of the blackout, 4,500 people were arrested. 550 were injured. 4 people, unfortunately, lost their lives in the mayhem. Over 1,500 stores were looted. 1,100 fires were started. And $300 million in damages were caused. And yes, that is adjusted for inflation. And I know with all the fires and crime, it looked like some shit straight out of a Batman comic or something. And if the CIA would have been trying to make some fear toxin or Joker toxin or something instead of some truth serum and making acid, they would have had the perfect time to do some Scarecrow or Joker or mass control type shit. But thank goodness they were more concerned, you know, with spying on women and minorities, I guess, make sure they don't have rights. But the fires don't make sense to me because it was the middle of summer, so I know it was hot as fuck. Nobody had AC or nothing. Like, I digress. Grandmaster Caz himself admitted that he looted some of his first DJ equipment during the blackout. There may have been others, but they haven't came forward with their stories and all that. And African Bambaataa once even tried to deny that the blackout and subsequent looting was not a part of hip-hop's lore. It's not the only thing he's tried to cover up. So, regardless, the evidence and correlation of MCs and DJs during the time, and all of a sudden being more prevalent in New York just after a blackout full of looting, just not coincidence. And salute to those who risked their freedom just so they could spend some ones and twos. Now, the New York City blackout of 1977 was one of the most chaotic nights in New York history. But from that chaos in the pitch black of the New York night, there was a spark of light in the form of hip hop that was given more energy through the chaotic darkness. There wasn't just a blackout in NYC that night. There was a subtle tectonic shift in the music industry that would eventually be more and more noticeable as this new sound wave called hip hop would continue to shake the entire music industry. And 50 years later, it's still rocking and rolling. New York City may have lost power that night, but the power outage would help give energy to a new art form and gave some people who may not have been in the best conditions an opportunity to succeed. And it's a major what if. It is a major what if of what if this blackout didn't happen. Hip hop may not be where it's at today. Now maybe it would be. We'll never know. But just another what if. I'm working on some other what if projects. So stay tuned. I'm working on some what if Mortal Kombat stuff and digging into some Mortal Kombat lore. Also digging into some wrestling lore. Gonna do a what if and do a deep dive on the curtain call coming real soon. So y'all stay tuned. I've been sick. I got some glasses on. Usually I don't be wearing these, but I had pink eye, or I'm getting over pink eye, and then before that I was sick for like a week. So it's just summertime sickness is crazy work. Not gonna lie, real shitty. But we in the middle of a heat wave, and that's even more disgusting. I can't wait for winter time or even fall, just for the temperature to drop below 70 again. Can't wait. But thank y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this little brief look at hip hop history. I wanted to drop this now, or it's kind of as soon as possible, because these next two projects are going to take crazy amounts of time and work and research. Y'all know I don't be taking a lot of time on editing and none of that. I just upload some gameplay, put the camera on the 5. I got to start using my computer to edit maybe a little bit more of my PS4 gameplay, but we'll see. We'll see how all that work out. I got big things popping, hot content dropping soon. So if you would like to stay tuned, go ahead, ring the notification bell, subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't like it, why you a hater, son? I mean, you could leave a dislike, but YouTube don't even care about dislikes no more. They just care about the views and the likes. And even if you dislike, I guess it's kind of like interacting with it, so I'll take it. But you could even subscribe. Keep disliking my shit. Nah, but y'all be safe out there. Don't get smoked. It's been your boy A&T. Good to be back doing content. I might live stream actually right after I drop this video, so you might see me wearing the same shit in this live stream that I'm about to do. So y'all, like I said, stay tuned. You do a live stream on Game Gang Live. That is my live channel. Most of the switched over. This channel is mostly for written content that I take my time and write out scripts for. My other live channel is just I turn the game on, and sometimes I'll have bullet points that I talk about, but for the most part I just be randomly ranting. We almost 100 episodes deep into Ant's Random Rants, so like I said, brush my shoulders off a little bit. I'm stunned right now. I just kind of improving a couple minutes because I got this whole video to do, but I'm trying just to like I said, improv and waste a little bit of time, so I got some decent gameplays going. But yeah, hope y'all been chill, hope y'all been safe. Stay tuned. Been your boy A&T. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say before I go. I letting this video kind of rock out. I'm kind of going crazy with the shotgun. I know we was getting real close, but you already know if I'm having a good game, then my team probably isn't that good. If I'm like top 5 to top 3 on the team, yeah, my team probably cheeks, and we probably losing. But if I'm on the bottom of the scoreboard, then we probably looking pretty good. We probably looking good. If I'm that 8th man, 10th man on the bench, no, I'm just playing. But not really though. We don't get this dub, but this was a pretty good. Look at that. Getting back into Battlefield. They just dropped that old COD, so I might be dropping some zombies gameplay real soon. Bro, hackers and modders and motherfuckers ruined Black Ops and Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 online. But that's some shit that I'll probably talk about in my live stream, along with some other shit. I'm just ranting and rambling again. Got a few more minutes left on this vid. We out here trying. I tried. I was trying. I was on B capping. I was getting killed. Look at that. Bro thought he was going to hide, get on the belly in the corner. Not today. I don't know where my team at. This motherfucker behind me and shit. I'm the only one on the motherfucker. Okay, yeah, we finally got some teammates in here. This is the point. I really thought we was gonna take the deal. I was like, okay, we got clearing up. I'm getting rezzed. I'm getting rezzed in battlefields. You know, that's real battlefield shit. My team was holding it down so hard. And this team just rubber band, snapped back, came back, and all of that. See, and I don't know how. In these new games, motherfuckers just could just duck bullets, jump through. Yeah, okay, the halo jump around the corner. That's been a thing. But the little slide and little moving back and forth, that shit, man. Stand still while I'm trying to clap your shit. Pause. We trying to take E. I swore we had this locked up. I'm like, yep, I know my homie got him. He gonna get locked down. I'm like, dang, I didn't get the assist, but it's cool, it's cool. I'm just thinking if I could just take over some shit with this shotgun, I'll be alright. Again, just hitting shots, just not on one person. That auto aim said, "No, sir, you want to hit this motherfucker, not the other one." But that's cool. It's alright. They took the lead. I'm like, yo, let me try and take A back, take this lead back or something. My team ain't trying to do none of that. Team ain't trying to do none of that, y'all. Yeah, they took this last, like, 2 little objectives or whatever, and they just started. Yeah, they finished strong. Meanwhile, my team was getting just spawn trapped, essentially. I'm rocking with this little M1 101. After you see me, I try to get up. Nope. Not today. And then this is the part that really frustrated me because I see them all up in here. Oh yeah, we took B. Well, let's try and take a lead back, something. Catch me the little double off the shotty. And I don't know, sometimes my shotgun just don't work long range. Other people, when they put the slugs on their shotgun, they be sniping with the shotgun. I feel like, at least sniping me. I feel like I be getting hit from 100 meters away with the shotgun. Mine just don't work like that, even when I put the slugs on it. I don't know. Gotta get my aim up. Gotta get good, I guess. We got like a minute and a half left maybe, but again, hope y'all enjoyed this little video. Sorry for the ranting and rambling at the end, but it was a short little video. I knew I could just get out real quick, and then I was just like, let me add a little bit of flavor on the end of it, a little bit of live com, the classic live com. Out here trying to hold it down. Meanwhile, they are just parading around B. We was trying so hard to fight for this. As soon as I seen it flip over, they rotated so perfectly over. I get stuck on a damn golf bag. And this is it right here. Tough loss. But, oh well. Thank y'all again for tuning in. I'll see y'all real soon. Go subscribe to my other channel or follow me on Twitch. Shit, I almost hit the mic, but go follow me on Twitch, ANT_303, I believe. Should be. I'm out. Peace.